Welcome to Friends of Jinsando. I'm your host, BH Kim. Today's is the sixth and final session of our 6-week program. I'd like to thank you for actively participating in our program of guided meditation and key teachings. Now, shall we start today's program? First off, let me briefly introduce today's program. Our guided meditation session will offer a review of the past 5 weeks. For Jinsando's key teaching, there will be a brief talk on Jinsando's vision. Please turn on your video cameras as usual and remember to leave your comments. First, I'd like to mention Jay. She has consistently shared her comments, so I want to say thank you, Jay. Your presence in our gathering has been greatly appreciated. Next, we have a feedback from Manushuria. She said, Sicheonjuju mantras chanting while meditating felt like recharging my batteries. Throughout the 6 weeks, I have been amazed by how many wonderful expressions you all have used about meditation. Recharging my batteries is such a cute and accurate expression. I will use it often. Thank you, Anushureya. Lastly, we have Christine's feedback. She said, I felt happier during this session because I realized that compared to the previous sessions, I got used to meditation even more. To me, it felt more natural, and I think it is a good thing. In reality, encountering something new in our daily lives can be intimidating. There's a Korean proverb that says, it takes a close look to find beauty. It takes a long look to find love. Although this might be your first encounter with meditation, I'm delighted to see that you are gradually falling in love with meditation and finding it more natural. Thank you, Christine. Now, before we begin our meditation, I would like to share some insightful words with you. Today, I have chosen a few words from the teachings of the Jongdosanim, the Supreme Master of Tao of Jinsando. He said, the essence of meditation is keen concentration, free of random thoughts. When distractions arise, quash them by focusing on mantra chanting. Release all attachments in your mind. Refrain from dwelling on unfulfilled experiences, sorrows, or hardships. To meditate, you must liberate yourself by freeing yourself of past experiences and freeing yourself of future expectations. You must find your true self who is here now. You must awaken yourself by being here and now. When we meditate, even thinking about not having distractions is a distraction in itself. Emptying your mind is truly challenging. A great way to cease distractions is focusing on something positive. In other words, you can focus on mantra chanting and become one with the mantra sounds. Then, are you ready to become one with divine sounds? Let us warmly welcome our meditation guide who will help us become one with the mantra sounds. Please welcome Miss Taeeulju.
Welcome everyone to the Friends of Jinsando meditation class. I'm Taeeulju, your meditation guide. I can't believe today is the last session of our 6-week program. I feel we all became great friends and I feel so close to you now. Before we begin, I'd like to share some of your comments regarding the previous session. First, Anish made by the vocal cords while chanting it. Thanks, Anishreya. I'm glad you felt the divine energy of the Sicheonjuju mantra. The second comment is from Asha. She said that she sensed a different environment while chanting the Sicheonjuju mantra, and the mantra gave her different energy. Wow, Asha, I'm very impressed that you felt a different energy from the mantra. Next is Christine's feedback. She thinks that the mantra is good and calming compared to the Taeeulju mantra. I think she felt this because the Sicheonjuju mantra releases anger and sadness from the body. I was pleased by Christine's feedback. And I truly believe all of you are great practitioners already. Last, we have feedback from Riti. She said she loved Sicheonjuju mantra meditation. She felt as if she were giving a hug to herself. She felt harmony and power from the group chanting. Oh, isn't she lovely? Thank you, everyone. I will always encourage your practice of meditation. Now, let's begin today's meditation. Before we begin, let's first calm our minds. Please sit with your back straight. You can sit on the floor with your legs crossed or sit on a chair. Please gently close your eyes. Let's engage in deep breathing while listening to relaxing music. Let go of all thoughts and imagine that you are one with the universe. As you inhale the bright energy of the universe. Were you at one with your breathing, and did you experience calm? When you engage in deep breathing, you can calm the energy in your body. Let us now engage in Om Hum meditation. Om came into being when all vibrations became one at the beginning of the universe. Hum embodies all the sounds of the universe. Hum evolved from Om. Om and Hum are sacred sounds. Let us breathe slowly and deeply. When you exhale, make the sound Om. Exhale like so. Om. When you inhale, make the sound Hum in your mind. The vibrations of Om and Hum will refresh all the cells in your body. Today, let's review the meditation methods and the two sacred mantras that we learned and practiced together in the past 5 weeks. First, let us engage in the meditation we learned in week 2. It is a meditation of gathering energy in your lower danjeon while listening to the Taeeulju mantra group chanting. Your body's lower danjeon is where you gather energy of life. Your lower danjeon can be described as a sea of energy. Your lower danjeon is located about 5 centimeters below your belly button. And from there, it's about 2/3 of the way straight inside your lower belly. Now, concentrate on your lower danjeon. Place your hands on your lower abdomen and feel it expanding and contracting like a balloon as you inhale and exhale while silently chanting the Taeeulju mantra. Each word of the Taeeulju mantra is a seed mantra. When you chant the mantra, the divine energy and vibrations of each word reverberate throughout your body. Imagine gathering this energy and these vibrations inside the egg of light in your lower danjeon. Let's meditate for 10 minutes.
음리치야 도래 함미 사파 움치 델천 상원군 움리치야 도래 움리 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 함미 사파
How was your meditation? Did you feel your lower danjeon with the energy of the Taeeulju mantra? Now, let us engage in deep breathing to cleanse our penetrating vessel while listening to Taeeulju mantra dynamic meditation music. Do you remember the penetrating vessel? We learned about this in week 3. The penetrating vessel is one of the major energy vessels in our body. It runs vertically through the center of our body, from the crown of our head to the perineum, which is located between our legs. If your penetrating vessel is cleansed, energy in your body will circulate smoothly. Also, you will be better prepared to receive the divine energy of the universe. As a result, you will be energized and not bogged down by fatigue. To begin cleansing your penetrating vessel, gesture with your hands as though you're raising or lowering energy in your penetrating vessel while chanting the Taeeulju mantra. As you inhale, gesture with your hands as though you're raising energy from your perineum to your crown chakra. As you exhale, gesture your hands as though you're lowering energy from your crown chakra to your perineum. When you breathe deeply, your dynamic meditation becomes more fluid, improving the cleansing of your penetrating vessel. Let's meditate for 10 minutes. We've just performed deep breathing to cleanse our penetrating vessel. Did you feel energy rise and fall in your penetrating vessel? Lastly, we'll listen to the Sicheonjuju mantra, which we learned last week, Week 5. 상제님 bestowed the Sicheonjuju mantra upon humanity in advance of the arrival of the autumn 개벽. For the next 5 minutes, we will chant the Sicheonjuju mantra. Please choose either whisper chanting or silent chanting for yourself. And remember, the chanting should be bright and vibrant.
시천주 조화정 영세 불망만사지 지기금지 원위대강 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 시천주 조화정 영세 불망만사지 시기금지 원위대강 시천주주 화종영세 불망만사지 시기금지 원위대강.
Before we end today's meditation, let us have a short period of silence. Feel the peace, tranquility in your mind. Today, we reviewed the meditation practices and mantras we learned over the past 5 weeks. As your meditation guide, it was a privilege to walk with you on our short meditation journey. Regardless of our backgrounds, spirituality, and ethnicity, we are connected because we receive the same divine energy of the universe. No matter where you are, I hope you will continue to chant the Sicheonjuju and Taeeulju mantra to receive the bright and divine energy of the universe. Thank you for giving me your time and support during these past weeks. Thank you for participating in the Friends of Jinsando 6-week meditation program. I sincerely hope our paths will cross again in the near future. Until then, goodbye and take care.
Thank you, Kelly, for your guidance. Today, we'll review the past 5 weeks of guided meditation. We hope this review gave you a good understanding of the various meditation methods we introduced during our meditation. Now, it is time to learn about the key teaching of Jinsando. Today's topic is Jinsando's vision. Let's warmly welcome Mr. Kyung Kyu Lim with a big round of applause.
Thank you, BH. My name is Kyung Kyu Lim. I'm a practitioner and teacher with Jeung San Do. I can't believe it. It's my 5th and final talk on introducing Jeung San Do's basic teachings. Over the past few weeks, I briefly introduced Jeung San Do's teachings about the cosmic year. And then I focused more specifically on the Sanguk of the early heaven, the Sangseng of the later heaven, the autumn Kebyok, and the human incarnation of Sangjani. Through these brief introductions, I try to give you broad new perspectives about our world in the context of the cosmic year of 129,600 years, particularly concerning the divide of time between the current 50,000-year early heaven and the forthcoming later heaven of 50,000 years. Now, I wanted to tell you that we are living in the time of greatest changes. But I think you know this already because you yourself are witnessing incredible changes. For me, the internet was a huge thing. Now, just 30 years ago, personal computers became cheap and powerful, so millions of people bought them. Internet browsers improved by leaps and bounds, so I was able to access information of all kinds, more than I had ever dreamed of. Mobile phones became cheaper and cheaper, so almost everyone could afford them. Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, KakaoTalk, WhatsApp, and Zoom, and all kinds of exciting search engines and platforms on the internet and killer apps on the phone connected us in so many different ways with so many people across the world. The fact that I am speaking to you by Zoom is proof that these technological advances are with us. Now, AI has arrived. Just the other day, I saw a ChatGPT translation of a page from a Korean book. The translation was incredible. Of course, I had to polish it, but the AI translation was a good start. As you well know, the world is not defined just by science and technology. Our planet, our natural environment is changing at great speed in so many ways. For example, climate change is having a profound impact all around the world. In the past 2 weeks in South Korea, heavy rainfalls have devastated farmlands, infrastructure, and property throughout the country. Many lives were lost, and thousands lost their homes and livelihoods. Massive rainfalls, floods, droughts, and forest fires are happening right now around the world. Furthermore, complex political, military, and economic changes are inflating prices across the world. And young people, like yourselves, are extremely worried about the job market. They fear for their future. But you can say that uncertainty about society has always been with us, whether 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, or many thousands of years ago. This is, of course, quite true. And yet, I believe that the sense of uncertainty, the sense of foreboding afflicting us these days is different. I think many of us sense that something big is coming our way. But I believe it is wrong to abandon ourselves to gloom and doom and just give up on life. I think the smart thing to do is to keep our eyes open and our wits sharp. I think it's wise to invest in ourselves by expanding our knowledge and horizons. I think it's prudent to meditate, to improve the health of our mind and body, and elevate our spiritual well-being. I absolutely believe that it is critical for each of us to develop a roadmap of how we will advance ourselves intellectually and spiritually. I truly believe Jeung San Do's vision about the world can be useful to you. So, I want to extend an invitation to each and every one of you to further explore the teachings and meditation of Jeung San Do. So you can decide for yourself whether his teachings offer you the truth. I'd like to extend you that opportunity for exploration and decision-making. Before we end today, I'd like to share with you passages from our scripture, the Dojeon, to give you a small sense of our vision of the world. Here's how the Dojeon speaks about the coming world. It says, "At the coming of the time will arrive a world of great unity that will endure for 50,000 years. I will unite language and writing throughout the world and end discrimination among races. In the later heaven, the world would become one family." Now, I am very drawn to Sangjirim's words, particularly these words of his promise saying that he will end discrimination among races, something that has to be done, but that seems impossible at the moment. But according to Sangjirim's vision, according to Jeung San Do's vision, this will happen as the world changes into the later heaven. And in the later heaven, the world will become one family. Now, Sangjirim revealed his grand designs and told humanity to keep our wits sharp. He said, "I will cast down the rain of darkness and bring forth the rain of radiance. You will behold the world you behold in the morning, and the world you behold in the evening will differ. Every day and every year will be different from the one before. The world will teach you everything." Indeed, the world will teach us everything. So it's up to us to have the mental and spiritual capacity to understand what is happening to us and around us. Sangjirim promised a world of grandeur. He said, "In the coming world, there will be neither superiority nor inferiority of status or occupation, for the world will become a world of great unity where everything will come to pass as the spirits serve every need, and where warm affection and righteousness will abound, and compassion and love will overflow. In the later heavens, paradise of immortality, people of great longevity will live 1,200 years. Those of middling longevity will live 900 years. And those of meager longevity will live 700 years. The ideal of living for 1,200 years has many implications. Foremost, humanity and the world will change profoundly, creating an environment in which we human beings can attain our fullest potential, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In the meantime, we must cultivate our mind and body through meditation. Regarding this, Sangjirim said, "As you live in this turbulent and wicked world, you must keep your mind true. Refine your qi, earnestly cultivate and purify yourself with Tao, and attend to your peace of mind and peace of body. For this is the way to attain the qi of life." It is absolutely critical to cultivate and purify ourselves with Tao to attain the energy of life. I believe the meditation methods shared by our Taeeulju are a good start to cultivating your mind and body to attain the energy of life. In the coming months, Taeeulju and others will introduce other very profound meditation methods that will further help you cultivate your mind, body, and spirit. So let me end here. It's been an absolute joy to walk through Jeung San Do's basic teachings with you. I really appreciated your kind attention and support during these past several weeks. I think you had many more questions than you actually asked. But I believe these questions can be answered over time through your increasing understanding of Jeung San Do, the world, and yourself. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your insightful talk, Mr. Lim. Now, let's take a moment for your comments and questions. Since this is our final session, I encourage all of you to share your thoughts or ask questions. Who's first? Please raise your hand. Christine, can you? Hi.
Hi. My audio clear now. I'm not using any headphones. Good.
Good.
First, good evening, everyone. And since this is the last time that we'll meet in the session, I would like to share my thoughts and comments for the previous sessions, including today's session. First and foremost, I would like to find out or specify what just Mr. Lim has said earlier, which is to invest in ourselves, and the other one is about racism. I think because due to AI, modern technology, all of us are like always holding our phones, are always having screen time with our laptops and computers. But then again, there are things that can be called investment outside using AI and modern technology. And I think one of those include meditation, which we did for few weeks back and then until today. And the other thing is about racism. I have heard this from many friends too. So and I guess I have also witnessed some of it at some point of time. And there are various laws or like movements that actually advocate to avoid racism. But since we have different perspectives, we have different priorities, I think it will take a while before that happens. That like total avoidance of racism. But it is important for us to take part, to be part of this movement too. The next one is about the meditation classes. As a beginner, I would like to share my some of my basic learnings about the meditation session, which are number one is the closing of our eyes. As I am a student and I am actually always in front of my laptop, searching, surfing the internet, doing social media, I actually tend to forget to close my eyes from time to time. There's a recommendation about 20 minutes in science, but then sometimes I forget it. But I think the meditation classes help me realize the importance of closing eyes at least for 10 minutes. The other one is breathing. We're living, of course, so we're breathing, but that actually sometimes we forget to breathe. like take a pause for a moment and appreciate the moment you are currently in. Like, I think that's very important. There are instances that I feel overwhelmed, but then since I realized the importance of breathing, it actually helped me to overcome those challenges. And the last one, is about rest. Meditation is also a form of self-care and self-assessment. Self-care because we are having time for ourselves to grow, invest in ourselves in such that we become healthy individuals, both in our physically and emotionally. And self-assessment because through the mantras as well, we assess ourselves like, did we do something bad or did we offend someone? I think it's a kind of reflection in ourselves. And again, as part of the youth, I also fear for my future, and uncertainties come along the way. But then, having uncertainty is also a form of protective mechanism so that each of us will be hopeful and we do our best to live our lives and become a better part of the community. That's all. Thank you very much to our uh, Mr. PH Kim, Mr. Lim, and Miss Kelly Jo for sharing your time and for HIEC Defense. And I'm really happy to meet you. Thank you. 감사합니다. 만나서 반가워.
Thank you.
Well,
Wow,
thank you,
thanks, Christine.
Thank you.
I mean, I think you touched on many very important topics. You put your finger on a lot of sensitive nerves, I believe. But let me say this. I think we all live in a state of contradiction, a paradox. We live in a world of plenty. I mentioned that science and technology is quite advanced, and we have access to all kinds of things that we didn't even dream about 20, 30 years ago. So we have access to technology, access to information. I mean, we have incredible knowledge about a lot of things. And compared to our ancestors, I think we eat better. We have a better diet. Well, that's debatable, but we have more calorie consumption than they did probably. So we live in a time of plenty. At the same time, we live in a time of poverty. What I mean by that is not just economic poverty. I think poverty of the mind, poverty of the spirit. I think people are searching for ways to fill themselves with a sense of spiritual fulfillment. They're searching for wisdom that will give them a sense of direction. I think they're looking for the true north so they could find their way and find purpose in their life. So yes, it's a time of plenty and it's a time of poverty. I think if you understand that more and more, develop a clear picture, then you can address the poverty part. That's why we offer you meditation, to give you, in a way, plenty spiritually, give you a way to gain self-fulfillment through meditation. Bringing the light of the universe, it's abstract, but it's a real thing that happens to you when you meditate more and more. And it's important that you gain new perspectives, expand your horizons, so that you're not fluttering the wind intellectually and spiritually. So you have to invest in yourselves properly. You have to recognize that there's prejudice all around. Even we ourselves have learned prejudice. We harbor prejudice. We also need to change, but the world itself must change first for everyone to change. So all these things are happening at the same time. That is why we try to give you new perspectives. And that's why we invite you to further your experience with more meditation, more teachings to build that wealth, that intellectual, spiritual, emotional wealth. So you become a more well-rounded person. Be better prepared to take on this world that is changing so rapidly.
I would like to add a few words to Christine. Thank you for sharing your insights and wisdom. You're quite a speaker, I guess. And it was a it was a joy doing meditation with you. And in the near future, in your daily lives, when you meditate, if you have difficulties on your concentrating, you can only do the breathing meditation for 10 minutes, concentrating on your lower abdomen. And you can find yourself that you're gaining concentration. Then you can extend time to 10 minutes, to 20 minutes, to 30 minutes, like that. And you will see that you will have improvement in your meditation. And I want to see you in the next intensive meditation program. Thank you.
Thank you all. And next, I think Julia, can you talk to us?
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Hello. Yes, you are.
I wanted to say thank you, everyone, again, for this gathering.
Can you speak up a bit? I can't hear you so well.
I'm sorry. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, it's clear.
Okay. I just wanted to say that it's a whole vibe on its own. When you dive into a meditation program, it's like taking vacation for your mind. You start by finding the calm spot within yourself, letting go of all the chaos around you, and when you reach the state of blissful stillness, it's like the weight of the world is lifted off your shoulders, and suddenly you're turned into a inner peace frequency, and all those worries and stresses just fade away. And it's just like experiencing a gentle breeze on a warm summer day, or sinking into a cozy couch after a long day at work. So the mind, or our minds, become clearer and sharper. It's like hitting the refresh button from our brains and souls. Plus, there's incredible sense of relaxations that washes um over our minds, and it's a pure tranquility in its most natural form. Um, that's that's all that I felt during all our sessions here. Thank you for the experience and the good vibes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julia. Let me just make one comment about meditation, since you talked about a great deal of it. This is something that I heard. Somebody described meditation as riding a bicycle. Imagine learning how to ride a bicycle. It's difficult at first, but once you learn how to ride it, you will never forget how to ride a bicycle, right? Now, like a bicycle, you have to pedal constantly. It's a repetitive action, but through that action, you can go to a lot of places. You can take your bicycle to go to the local store, to go to your school, or to take a very long trip in your country or even around the world. So by getting on a bicycle, you open yourself up to an infinite potential. So meditation is simple as riding a bicycle, but where you go, to what extent, depends on you. So we're trying to offer you different ways of not only riding the bicycle, but excel at it. So I want to encourage you to just keep it up. Come along, ride with us.
Thank you. And next, Asha.
Hello. Firstly, I just want to say that thank you, all of you. And teacher Kelly taught us like a really good way, and the meditation make my mind feels really calm, and I'm able to concentrate so much things like my studies, my all of everyone has a day of like very much too much things to do, but when I do the meditation, after that I feel really calm and I'm able to do my work, like every work. Nothing is missing. And teacher Lim, like you told, we are entering in later heaven and we are ending the summer. So is this the reason, like we developed so much technologies and ending the summer we have facing the war and the illness, is this the reason like we developing these much things, and after that we are going to end these things like after war or something, is this the reason?
Thank you for asking that. I think you touched on a lot of very important aspects of our teaching. So as I read you a passage from the Dojin today, Sangjanim said, you will behold. So you will see with your own eyes how the world is changing and how the world will change to a different level, to go to a different place. So you're right. These are all signs of the cosmic summer. I mentioned to you that the cosmic summer is a time of sanguk. It's a time of incredible competition, growth. So there's a lot of activities, a lot of forces at play at the same time. So there's a lot of advancements, a lot of wonderful things that come out of sanguk. At the same time, I mentioned to you that sanguk is the engine that fuels bitterness and grief. So on one hand, you have incredible advancements. On the other hand, you have bitterness and grief. You have people who are experiencing all kinds of great things, material things. At the same time, people are suffering. And at the same time, I mentioned to you that we have the poverty of our mind and our spirit. So it can be confusing at first because there's so many things that are happening that seem unrelated, just happening by chance. But through our teaching, through Sangja님's teachings, in fact, he revealed to us that it's the world, it's the heaven and earth undergoing these transitions. So humanity has no choice but to be a part of this transition. And to harmonize with the changing heaven and earth, we must transform ourselves. How? Through meditation. So we're going to sync up with heaven and earth to evolve along with heaven and earth. At the same time, as I mentioned to you, we need to expand our horizons. We are exposed to education, learning, conditionings. So we have to say, okay, some things are great, but other things limit us. They prejudice us to think just one way. So as heaven and earth transform, as they evolve, we ourselves have to evolve mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So it's a great time. It's an incredible time that we live in because it's a chance for us to transform along with heaven and earth. So this is a very big topic to grasp, something that you can't just say you understand it. It's something that you have to look at it from different perspectives, ask questions, and basically ingest, invite it, internalize it within you to say one day, aha, I get it. So give it time.
Thank you so much.
And next, Jay. Hi, Jay. Are you there? Then, Jinju, can you talk to us? Yeah. Hi.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm just going to share my message briefly. And since I'm able to attend last meetings, I'm so happy to be with you again, everyone. And also nice to see you again today. So overall, I just want to say that I'm so glad we learned so much from our special sessions. And also, I'm so delighted to be together with everyone. And I hope that we have more programs in the future and also that we may meet again later on and to continuously study together as well. And also, I'm always happy to see everyone. And also, thanks a lot for being with me too, because I feel calm to be with all of you by hearing your thoughts and also the wonderful teachings that we have. So, thank you so much, everyone, and always have a great time.
Thank you, Jinju.
Thank you. And next, Adrian.
Hello, am I audible?
So small sounds. Can you talk loud?
Am I audible?
Oh, clear.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the past 6 weeks of doing meditation with all of you. I actually like the dynamic meditation wherein we move our hands freely. And I actually do that sometimes, especially when I'm stressed after the school works and something like that. And thank you so much for having me here and for doing the meditation program with you. And also for learning a lot about the meditation and key teachings of Jeung San Do. Looking forward to the next upcoming events with HACD. That's all. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next, Anushiraya. Hi.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
So it's our last session. So emotional about everyone right now. Each class has been so great. So like it went really gracefully. With meditation, and then Sir Lim sir was there with his the K teachings. Um, which remind us of all the things that has been passed from generation to generation, and these are so important for us. And if even if a single thing is left out, our life seems to be incomplete. So the K teachings were so important for us. So was the meditation. Like me, I you want to tell the truth, like I am a clumsy and a restless person. So I really used to hate meditation during my school times. I used to run away from meditation, but now realizing its effects and how it works, so it's been great doing meditation, and the restlessness has been calmed down a bit. And so thank you, Kelly ma'am, for doing that. Even my mom feels great now that I am a little calm right now. So, and be it so, you have been reading my reviews so great. Like they feel like my work has been accomplished if you read those. So, in such a great manner, you present them, and a meeting without a host is incomplete. So thank you so much, everyone, and it was great to spend time here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. And next, Ranju.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So, okay, I have a story to share with you all. Okay. Like HSCD began the meditation session earlier, but for me, being honest, I didn't care that much about meditation over that time. But with friends of Jeung San Do, I truly and sincerely started my meditation session. And I'm continuously performing my meditation every day. Though I feel various experiences performing my meditation every single day, I feel that I used to become calm. Also, my mental state is going good now. And yes, I can focus on things as well. I truly appreciate this meditation session. Also, this, I don't know, I don't have words to say the actual thing, but yeah, if the friends of Jinsando are taking the world and taking this initiative to take the world to the unity, and they are just um, taking the world to the harmony as well with the unity, I am I will be glad to be a part of this. And I want to initiate myself, and I want to do uh, more things in the positive way, in a positive manner. And I would always be thankful for the friends of Jinsando, and especially to my mentor as well, that he take me over here, and thus I gain this much knowledge, and I to start practicing as well. So thank you everyone for being with me, for being in my life and teaching me so many good things. Thank you.
Thank you for your honest feedback. And it's amazing that you're meditating every day. Wow.
Thank you.
We're definitely going to see you in the next intensive meditation class.
Yeah, sure, definitely you will be. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
oh, are you done? Okay, so thank you. What I really caught when you spoke was the theme of learning and doing. So with friends of Jinsando, I think it's important for us. It's important to us that we learn and we do at the same time. So this is our first 6-week program. As we continue our programs and as we continue our activities, reaching out to a lot of people, we want to offer learning opportunities as well as doing opportunities. So we'll figure out what we can do, not only for self-enrichment, but reaching out to other people and being of service to other people. So these are in the horizon. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I definitely will be. Thank you.
Thank you. Last, Jaiwanti, can you talk to me? Something? Are you there? Now it's time to end today's session. Before we end, we have an announcement about our next program. Friends of Jinsando will have a break in August. We will return in September with a better programming on meditation and key teachings. We hope to see you in September. Lastly, please make sure to leave your comments on Google Form. And during the past 6 weeks, your faces and names have become familiar to me and to us, creating a sense of close friendship. It has been a great joy preparing this program, observing your meditation practice, and listening to your stories. With that, let us bring our 6-week program to a close. Until we meet again in September, goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you soon.
Hey guys, it was really meaningful time everywhere. I love you all.